this had been made within the team that were developing these data. And whilst I do not hold brief for the team, because they were relying on Coral Draw to come up with these pie charts and graphs and so on, that they were doing this manually. And so what we have done is to go back to the drawing board and use Excel. And so we may not have those colorful, graphs, and the focus should not be on that, because the application that was being used was not able to do accurate tabulations. And so you found that people had to do, they had to do it manually. So that Coral Draw has been abandoned, and an app Excel has been applied. But again, I say this, that because we are a listening commission and we intend to build trust, you come back, you let the people know what went wrong and what has been done.
Welcome back to Key Point on TV3. We're live on 3FM 92.7, also on TV3 Ghana on Facebook, and on DSTV channel 279, all across the world on 3news.com. A few of your messages, and then we'll go into the next issue. I just had the chair of the Electoral Commission talk about. We're still working to get through to the Director of Electoral Services at the Electoral Commission, Dr. Sribo Kweku, to also join us. Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo. Togwi, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo sends a message. He says, I have said time and again that what this nation needs is a culture of resignation. Anyone without that culture of resignation should not be allowed to get close to leadership in any form in this corrupt nation. Late Justice Austin Emisa did that honorably. He resigned as Attorney General in 1979. This is what Togwi Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo brings to the table, the institutional knowledge and the historical references. Thank you. Thank you very much for this. Togwi Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo. So it has happened before, essentially, that's what he's saying. Yeah, that, yes, indeed, I recall that. Thank you. Musa Abatwa in Aswase, Kumasi says, Alfred, the recent developments in the ambulance case where the Attorney General Godfred Dame is allegedly caught on tape trying to coerce star witness Richard Jagba into giving false testimony to implicate Ato Force deeply troubling and undermines the integrity of our legal system. Such actions, if proven true, represent a serious breach of justice and also a legal system. We must advocate for a legal system that operates free from coercion, corruption, and undue influence. This one here says, good morning, Alfred. My regards to Lawyer Nimakon. Please tell him I admire him a lot for his demeanor and attitude. Bernard. I think you've got that a lot coming today. This one also here says that we must all be concerned, regardless of the political parties that we align with, that the legal system and what is happening now is a threat to our democracy. And this issue of the Attorney General should not be captured, or I'm sure what you want to say, it should not be discussed in the MPP NDC kind of way. We must get serious with our law and enforcement in this country. Okay, this one here from Maxwell. Prince Henry from Koforidia says, the MPP should just provide the original voice tape between Mr. Jagba and Godfred Dame, so we know that whatever the NDC played to us was doctored. Simple. Until then, we would not take what they are saying, you say, seriously. Hardy from Pig Farm. Good morning. This government is an aberration, you say. The Attorney General is, okay, goes on and on. You're asking how Lawyer Nimakon will see anything good about the brouhaha between the Attorney General and Richard Jagba. You say, thank you very much. This one here says that there is Johnson Esiedun Ketia was the one addressing the press. His voice was not in the recorded phone conversation. What he did was to come and explain at a point to the journalists what the conversation was about. Anytime he does that, the recorded phone conversation was paused. There is no voiceover. That's a palpable lie, you say. Thank you. This is coming from Ni Ama Tefio. I have 1,500 of your messages, and I can only read so much. But I would want to put it on record that I thank you so much for all the messages that have come through so far on the issues that we have spoken about. There's a question that Professor Jampo, and I'll give you a minute to do this because we have to move today.
I just wanted to find out from my three co-panelists here,
Who are lawyers.
as to whether we still have the Ghana Bar Association. I'm talking about that association that joined other pro-democracy forces to fight for Ghana's return to constitutional rule. Do we still have Ghana Bar Association there?
Okay.
Why not? Are they still staffed by courageous people, or now they are all cowards? Is it true that Godfred Dami, what he did was professional misconduct? If that is the case, why is it that the farmer, you are the only person saying it? Martin Pebu, why is it that you are the only person saying it? So the GBA, is it that you guys are wiser than them, or they don't know? I am disappointed. Ghana Bar Association has only functioned well in voicing or articulating grievances against one particular regime. When that regime is no more, they can't work, they cannot be heard. Shame on them.
They are lawyers.
GBA, shame on to you. GBA, shame on to you for your deafening silence. We know the role that you play in the return of Ghana to constitutional democracy. We know the role that they play.
Ask a question. There's an answer for you.
They have kept governments. They used to keep regimes on their toes. They would issue statements here and there condemning, what was going on wrongly in society. But today, Ghana Bar Association, they've been cowed into submission. How the current regime cowed them into submission is something that should be researched. Okay. I don't understand.
You asked a question. Let me just get a quick response. So hold on.
You remember the two of not all of you responded. Let all of them respond. I am disappointed. Yes, my lawyer.
For example, respond again.
Yes, my lawyer.
You see, in every situation, there's something called odi alterem partem. Odi alterem partem. One party has just spoken by licking a tape. The other party has not responded. Hold on, Roxy. Hold on. Hold on. Please, let us wait for matters to unfold. Let's not forget that this panel or the media or any other forum cannot place guilt on the Attorney General. Okay, unless the GLC go to the GLC forum. That's where they will assess the entire situation and then put it in perspective. And then hear both sides and then say, what you have done, they constitute A or B. At this stage, if you do this, we are prejudging the matters already. We cannot say at this stage that, yes, this is what has transpired. Let's just hold on and wait. Why we are in this country, we are not going anywhere. Let's wait.
My lawyer.
And let's
the silence of the Ghana Bar Association has been fully definite. Everybody knows
everybody who's accused.
Okay, let's conclude on your point.
So the point I'm concluding is that there have been allegations upon allegation and here and there, back and forth. I'm saying that the AG has not spoken.
Now put this matter aside. Okay. I mean, you have studied Ghana's political history. We know what the GBA stood for. How they were always articulate on all issues.
Okay.
They subjected governments, to street proofs and kept them on their toes. These are lawyers who know the law.
You've had a first response from the first lawyer. Yes.
Mr. Okansi, Prof has a point about GBA being silent. Listen, in governance, GBA at minimum can come out. They are not saying that Dami is guilty. But once Dami admits there were those contacts, they will say, listen, Dami, resign now, go take care of it. If after you have found innocent, etc., you can come back. Kufuor sacked Anani. Of course, we didn't agree, but eventually he brought Anani back. So the GBA can say something.
All right.
They are not coming to determine guilt or
Let's hear
not.
the
But
final lawyer's response
it's so
on this.
tacky
Yes,
that Dami has to go. So, if you can say, people are preparing for a demonstration. Yeah. Alex,
Are you inside the demonstration?
Okay.
People are preparing.
Why are you sitting here inside the demonstration?
Alex, we've
You are inside the demonstration already.
They're preparing.
Hold on.
Yes, it's the principle Gary is invoking is inapplicable.
Which is and why?
Which is that auditorium pattern. The Attorney General has spoken like 3 times on this.
After the leak, supposed
wait.
You are saying that he hasn't spoken.
Yes.
And so you are making that a fundamental point that we should wait until he speaks.
Yes.
The man has spoken and spoken garrulously on the matter. On the 23rd of May, he issued a long statement. In fact, how many paragraphs?
I'm talking about after your press conference. After your press conference.
But the matter erupted in court.
No, after your press conference.
Hold on.
Oh, Roxanne, let's put
Why?
it. After your press conference.
Why?
Has he spoken?
He has spoken.
After the press
He
conference?
spoke through the party. The party defending him. The party says they are defending him because he's their member.
I'm talking about the AG
And then
himself.
Tia-
I'm saying that Tia they've not spoken on his behalf. He's mandated
Yeboah
people.
spoke before the leak. The leak.
Yes,
he
then
was
the
denied and he
PRO
was told
spoke after that. Then the
Let's
party
wait
also came
for
in
him
after
to
the
come
press
and speak.
So this
The
idea
right to
that
fair
hold
hearing.
on.
Or the
This,
or
you see,
third party.
Gary, you are my friend.
the other side.
Okay,
you are
thank
my
you.
friend, but you are doing a speaking point analysis. You have been giving points to come and say.
No. What, do you see me holding the
No,
paper here?
but you've been
Gary,
giving points to come
here
and
not
say.
look kindly on
Because this idea that Dami hasn't spoken, it's been said everywhere. Dami
History
has
will not
spoken.
look kindly on
Through
this thing you are
people-
doing. Stop.
Through
Stop,
people,
stop.
people that
This
is
for Ghana.
mandated.
We are
Thank you very
talking
much.
about Ghana.
So it's been heard.
Okay, your point has been well made. Thank you
It's
very
been
much.
heard.
Thank
It's
you.
been damaged.
So the response to
If I were him, I
Professor
wouldn't
Jampo
have
is fair and
Just
square.
has to go.
Thank you.
Yes.
Let's move on to the next.
So they
Gentlemen,
tacitly all admit that there is no GBA.
There is GBA.
Well,
There is no
there is.
GBA. But the GBA is moribund.
Well, that's
GBA
the
is
position
there,
that
but they are in bed with
not everybody would
government.
agree
So that's
with.
a fact.
They, as
That
a-
is
as
why
an
now we have
association-
Law Society of
Thank you,
Ghana.
thank you.
Which
They-
is
Would they be able to
no,
speak?
no.
Should power change hands? Will
Yes.
they do that?
Oh,
let's maintain some
Which they do all the
Let's-
time.
Thank you. The Ghana Bar Association
Shamelessly deafening
would
silence.
also have their own take on this position that you have taken as well, I'm sure, in the coming days. The
Shamelessly
Electoral Commission,
deafening silence.
Professor Jampo, the Electoral Commission this week, in fact, the limited voter registration exercise ended after 23 days. One of the things that was astounding, at least based on the Electoral Commission's own statements put out there, was the reliance on the guarantor system. Even though we have increasing numbers of persons going in for the Ghana card. So, and the Electoral Commission is still convinced that the Ghana card is a sure way of dealing with minors and foreigners on our register. So, as reported by the Daily Graphic, there's actually a conversation to have the bill, another ally, go back to Parliament to make the Ghana card the sole documentation for identification during registration. When I spoke to the MPP and the NDC after the IPAC meeting on Thursday, they all indicated that this matter was not extensively discussed at IPAC, so they don't really know where this is coming from. But essentially, a lot of people who went through the limited voter registration exercise relied on the guarantor system. What does this say if we're going on this path again of considering the Ghana card as a sole document for registration? In fact, we spoke to some first-time voters, young people, as a matter of fact, who just turned 18. Some of them say, you know what, as a gentleman who will play that shortly, says he was just walking by the roadside and somebody met him and says, you know, today is the last day, go and vote, go and register. I will guarantee for you. This young man says, I don't know this person from Adam. Take a look.
Students and our timetable didn't favor me all the days. So today's the day I had time, and then I decided to come and do it today.
So why did you have to come for the card? Is it for voting purposes or other reasons?
Okay, so I came here for voting purposes, and I have my own reason for coming here to read the card, because I want to vote for a PC who thinks about the well-being of his people, who thinks about the youth.
I'm from Accra Technical University and I'm a student. I don't have that enough time. Today is a free period, so we decided to come and register.
Normally I have class from 7 to 5, but today I have a free period, so I decided to come and do it today. I'm not sure I'm going to vote because I'm not into those voting stuff.
Me, I didn't want to do it in the first place, but they were forcing me like today. I saw a certain man and the person told us that we should go and do, he will guarantee for us. So I decided to come. Then I came here and they did it for me.
Are you 18?
Yes, I'm 18.
Okay, so you is it that you didn't know about it or you are not interested?
I knew about it, but I wasn't that much interested.
So it is on the statement of that last young man who spoke. He saw a certain man, told him to go register, and they guaranteed for him, and he's registered. For example.
Well, I think it's been discussed before. The issue has been brought to the public domain or to the fore about the weaknesses with our guarantor system and the need for us to do something about it. And if these occurrences would bring the issue back to the fore for public discourse, I mean, so be it. If the Electoral Commission, in its wisdom, believes that the way to go now is for a tabling of another LI to make the Ghana card the sole documentation for identification, for voting purposes, let this be discussed, at IPAC meetings, and let a consensus be built around it. Fortunately, the Electoral Commission, I'm thinking, is now willing to listen. I mean, there were several calls that there were several calls for the extension of this registration exercise, and the Electoral Commission, even though earlier on had said that it was going to stick to its the time frame, ended up extending or yielding to the demand. And over the week, I think they held an IPAC meeting to review the registration process, and I saw the kind of exchanges and body language between Dr. Manibuama and Jim Mensah, and I felt that was good. I mean, the Electoral Commission must reach out or do more about how it relates with the parties in opposition, just for the purposes of building its own institutional peace so that it can work and have the peace of mind to work. And so if we still want to go the route of ensuring that we abolish the guarantor system and stick to the Ghana card, and I'm told, I had a friend who came from the US and then tested my Ghana card and said, hey, the Ghana card has every information. The amount of information that you have on the Ghana card is so huge. So if we would do well to ensure that virtually all of us have Ghana card, then it would make sense. There will be no need for all of us to have Ghana card and still rely on a certain guarantor system that is proving to be ineffective. But if we want to go this route, I would plead with the Electoral Commission that it tables it again with the parties at IPAC meeting, and let there be dispassionate discussion of this so that all across the divide or buy into it. It becomes easier for the Electoral Commission to implement or to push another LI to abolish the guarantor system if it is able to get the buy-in and ownership of all across the political divide, at IPAC meeting when such issues are tabled and discussed extensively. So I would urge the Electoral Commission, and I think for some time now we've always said that independence of a commission does not mean you must lord it over your stakeholders. without your stakeholders, you cannot have independence. And so I would continue to urge the Electoral Commission to build a strong relationship with its stakeholders, and also its body language outside. You know, anytime the Electoral Commission is addressing the press or addressing the media or gets the opportunity to speak, you know, publicly, and it is videoed or recorded, the language does not show that they are always appearing ballistic and combative. But you need everybody. Who are you fighting against? You may mean well, but there is a way to go about your body language that would elicit a certain positive acceptance and reception from the people who are listening to you. I look at Boss Manasari anytime he is granting an interview, and sometimes, well, I've told her so, but sometimes my own boss, and I've told them that, look, you should also in your public appearances not be seen to be too ballistic and combative, so that you can bring all on board to support you. Because, see, without a credible electoral commission, without an electoral commission that has public trust, without an electoral commission that is seen to be working with all across the political divide, elections become unnecessarily competitive, and there's always anxiety, there's always tension, and sometimes the possibility of such anxiety and tension degenerating into chaos and violence to relapse our democratic gains becomes high. So I'll urge the Electoral Commission to do well, to build bridges, to relate well with all stakeholders, and to ensure that if there is going to be another LI to abolish the guarantor system,
it will be a CI.
Yeah. Well, if there's going to be that, it becomes owned by all. It shouldn't be an imposition. It shouldn't happen that Electoral Commission alone saw this problem and has decided that this is what I want to do. You work with stakeholders. So it is important that you work together to ensure ownership of such a decision, so that implementation becomes smooth.
In fact, we have information, at least some 13,000 new applicants or registrants having their registration challenged because of the suspicion of either they not turning 18 or foreigners and so on. Then they all went through using the guarantor system.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you look at this pie chart that the Electoral Commission even provided on its Facebook page, 62.1% approximately of the persons who had registered as at a certain period within the registration relied on the guarantor system, 62. And 37% relied on the Ghana card and 0.28% on passport. As at the end of the exercise, this reliance on the guarantor system did not change significantly. We have a lot more people relying on the guarantor system, which, according to the Electoral Commission, is an avenue for foreigners and minors getting onto the electoral roll. So we're still back to square one, Mr. Nebako.
Yes, Mr. Okansi, I think it's a problem that we are confronted with. I agree with, for example, on everything that he has said. I think there has to be a buy-in of all the political parties on this subject. You see, if you look at the structure of our parliament now, 137, 137 plus 1, it will be difficult to push some of these things through without an absolute majority. And our constitution makes it very clear that every citizen of Ghana, 8 years and above, of sound mind, has the right to be registered to vote in public elections. Which means that once you are 18 years and you meet these constitutional imperatives, you should be registered. But then the constitution also makes provision for the EC to make constitutional instruments to regulate how this can be done. That's the CI we are talking about here.
That's right.
You know, over the years, we have relied on this guarantor system all this while. The problem is that has been an avenue where political parties, especially some of them, you know, find a way to get the people who do not maybe qualify to put them on the electoral roll to create all this problem. And if you look at where in some areas there were issues of, casualties and attacks and all those things, just because of the guarantor system, the same problem. So more or less we are back to the same situation. How do you move from here? I think that by and large we have to agree as a country that let everybody who has get the national ID card, the ECOWAS card, whatever they call it, to try to apply to get them. So that by and back, we can roll out the thing in phases. So I think with time, once you have the card, you will not require the granted system again. So there should be a conscious effort to make sure that everybody who is qualified to get should get it. That's the way I see it, because now you go and register, and when you go to the pool, they say you don't qualify. You are challenged. 13,000 have been challenged. When are they going to go through the process of the challenge and complete to issue them with a voter ID card or otherwise? It's another lengthy process. But if you had your Ghana card, it's a straightforward matter, no problem. Because the Ghana card, the features of the Ghana card, clearly, everything is there. So I think we have to, resource the NIA, National Insurance Authority,
Identification
Authority, to resource them very well so they can roll out more people on board and then capture a lot of people so that we will not rather require this granting system again. And people should be encouraged to go and get a card. And they can do it in the schools, because now in the schools, 18 above, you can, and I think 16 years you can get the card, isn't it?
Yeah,
at 15 years. Yeah. So if there's a gradual roll on, 15 years you get a card, I think that, bit by bit, we will be facing out this kind of regime where people must now get character system to be on what? On the voter ID, register. And again, if the implementation of the, the digital, what did they call it? The birth certificate. If it is fully implemented,
yes,
I'm pretty sure that if you are born today and you are captured, by the time you get 15, 16 years, you're already on a national database. So I think it's a work in progress. But let's move on gradually and let the EC get a buy-in of all the political parties. Because if NDC says they want it, MPP says they don't want it, NDC says they want it, MPP says they don't want it, then we can stem it.
That's true.
So the EC has to come down and work with all the political parties, just in the interest of the country, so that at the end of the day they can do a good job, and then we can go and vote. When we go and vote, free and fair, and then my brother Roxanne still stays where he's staying, and then we continue from there, and then we find something for him to be doing. So I think that is how it should go. What do you think?
Certainly you are speaking,
But the thing about when this CI discussion was going on in Parliament, it was never laid, but there was consensus on both sides that the EC should go back and work on some things.
Yeah.
That, at least based on that consensus position that Alexander Fenyomakin, who was then the deputy majority leader, said in Parliament, that both sides of the House had agreed that the EC should go back and check some things within the CI. So that consensus
that was the earlier CI that was late,
yes,
which they didn't agree, and they referred it back to the EC. And that's what allowed the EC to do this registration with the same guarantee system.
Exactly.
But the number was now increased from 5 to 10. But you cannot guarantee for 10 people instead of 5 people in the earlier CI. So for me, as I said, I agree with Professor Jampo. They have to agree with the political parties. Work with the political parties. The posture is very, very crucial. Sometimes when it becomes like a belligerent posture that maybe it's our way or no way, then everybody take entrenched positions. I think there should be engagement.
Yeah.
What is it that we can do as a nation that will make sure that we can move forward? We are seeing that this, guarantee system is giving us problems. Anytime when you go to a center for registration, people are fighting. There are challenges. And when there's a challenge, there are physical attacks, or even they prevent from even registering.
Yeah, true.
But those with a Ghana card or with a passport, they just go and they go through easily. Nobody challenges them. But there has to be a gradual effort. We should make sure that we give them enough resources. The EC, the National Identification Authority, and all that, so that they roll the thing out in phases. So that by the time a person gets 14, 15, 16 years with a birth certificate issue coming on board, everything will be on stream. So I think that maybe in the next 5, 10 years, the numbers will reduce. I'm sure the numbers will reduce. You will have more people being enrolled on the Ghana card than maybe now. So I think it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. That's the way I see it.
Thank you.
Mr. Martin has nothing to say.
At all. At all. What is he going to say?
There's nothing.
Let's get the for the team to democracy. You got nothing to say.
This is Akufo-Addo. This is Akufo-Addo matter. You, apart from Akufo-Addo matter, what do you have to say?
Please. Council, please.
Yes, a voice on the matter.
Yes.
Respectfully. You know.
And don't mention the president's name here again. I'm sitting right
last time. The 52.5 billion. Please. Gary, are you aware 52.5 billion is missing for? Yes.
Please.
Auditor General.
You have been asked a question about voter registration.
The 52.5 billion. It's serious. The way we are suffering, don't you think
you invited him. Thank you. Thank you.
2.5 billion that we can't account for. Yeah, so, okay, when you see there are some fundamental issues here. Very, very critical. This case is like half a dozen, 6 of one and half a dozen of another. Look, it's one and the same. What is it in the Ghana card that makes it better than the guarantor system? What? I don't get it. Listen, the thing is that when you go to register today under the guarantor system, bottom line is that the parties are represented. They are there. They check. So if anybody has any reason to believe that the person who is seeking to register is not a Ghanaian or is underage, there is procedure under CI 91, right? It goes through. It's a judicial system.
Yeah, but it's giving us problems. It's giving us problems.
But is there anything that doesn't have problems?
So we should just stay like that. We shouldn't
I don't
make
get
progress.
it. So let's
Godfrey Dam is giving us
exactly.
Okay.
The problem on our hands.
Let's.
The department is a big problem.
Next time, don't come and do this job.
The digressions are too much.
Wait.
Too many digressions. Let's be focused.
So let's conclude on
so
this.
I didn't really get it. Listen, so I was making the point that we've given an adjudicatory process. If you have any challenge, you put it through there and then let the court system work. There's a district court and then so on to high court, right? In the CI, isn't it, Gary?
Yeah,
in the CI.
It is there, but I'm saying that if we can get a system whereby we can clear this thing off our hands, that's what we must progress as a country. We get a system whereby the Ghana card now has all the features, and we have about 90% of the majority of people having the Ghana card. It will reduce the challenges in the system.
You see, the Ghana card, you don't know there's guarantor system in it.
Yeah, but then the security inbuilt over there is much more enhanced than this one. You see,
the value is the same. As long as you get the Ghana card, you can also use the guarantor system.
It's not the same.
No, there's guarantor system in the Ghana card.
Yeah, what's the point exactly?
Yeah, so I'm saying that to acquire a Ghana card, there is a guarantor system. To go and register for the elections, there is a guarantor system. The value is the same. People in the past had said that because for the Ghana card, to guarantee and the rest, you make the statements on oath.
But I think under Act 750, only a relative.
One is tense than the other.
Yes,
getting a Ghana card, the guarantor system in getting a Ghana card,
Act 750.
it's not the same as the guarantor system in registering.
They are two different things.
One becomes highly tense.
Guarantee.
No, one becomes highly tense.
Oh.
Okay, I have not heard people,
but I think
that kind of altercation.
Yes.
My point is that we cannot move as a nation.
I don't get the point. You said they are different.
Okay, so
they are fighting the police station there. They are fighting there.
If people are going for Ghana card and then they are asking for somebody to guarantee, the processes.
So that's why very soon the Ghana card, we have to send the parties there to go and check there, because then it means that people will go to the NIA and do their guarantee.
But the point is that if we all admit or accept that Ghana card is good.
No, I don't accept that.
We should. So we don't need a Ghana card.
For Martin.
Okay.
So you offer everything in Ghana, you don't accept it.
Oh no, free SHS. I support President Akufo-Addo for it. Oh, I've done my heart.
Okay,
that one. Yes. Any day you mention
what we go for,
I'll talk for him.
So I think that's what should be taken. I think we should excommunicate you.
Professor Jampo. So yes. No, you round up. I think that I was just making reference to the difference in the guarantor system. I think that what Professor Jampo was talking about. If you look at Act 750, It details the difference in the guarantor system.
Yes.
So in the case of the Ghana card, you need a relative who has to swear before a commissioner of oath to guarantee for you.
Yes.
It's not as stringent in the same case as the guarantor system in the Electoral Commission's processes. I think that's what, for example, was
I don't buy that argument.
Why?
Except that there is not much time to just say, when you say a relation, this is Africa, this is Ghana. What degree? Is it totally circumscribed? It's been a long time.
No, but Martin, my question is that do we
we are all related?
Do we accept that we all need a Ghana card, or you think we don't need a Ghana card?
Look, for the purposes of registration, I don't think we should restrict it to Ghana card.
Okay.
I'm
talking about
Ghana card. Yes, good for other purposes.
So my point is that if we all need Ghana card, and we would all be able to get it.
We will not all be able to get it. That's how come you go to the banking system, they force it down our throat. Millions of citizens don't have the banking, don't have the Ghana card, and the banks are shutting them out. It's such a huge problem. Very huge. Let's have some.
So if there's a way to resource them.
What resource is being spoken? Look, let's stop this long theories. Listen, people go there. Have two people guarantee for them. Let the system go on. It's been working for 30 years. Let's go.
Let's go.
So if you stay,
we are giving ourselves more problems.
Okay, thank you.
Well, get violence at the centers.
You have the position on
progress.
Thank you very much.
It will get better.
So
every system
you are not a statesman on this.
No, the Ghana card has issues. I don't have a Ghana card.
I understand, but I think that if we all can get.
I don't want it.
Oh, so how do you go to bank?
I don't want it. Yes, now I'm out of the bank.
You're out of the bank. You're keeping money in your homes.
Let's not do this. Thank you. Please. Let's not push this, gentlemen. Let's not push this argument. Let's not push this argument. You are in your constituency. You were in your constituency. You monitored the process, please.
Yes.
You monitored the process.
Yes,
the evidence of the guarantor system's challenges.
Yeah.
And how that can be improved upon.
Okay.
Would the Ghana card be the cure?
Okay.
To this.
First of all, a law is supposed to be a tool for social engineering.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to help solve a problem. What is the problem that this legislation seeks to solve? We are unable to register every Ghanaian by policy of 50 years and above onto the Ghana card system and issue them with. We have reserved the registration to the district offices. So in my constituency, somebody is 50 kilometers away from Pepe or Peki, where they are located, from Ajebu. So if he turns 15 and he's supposed to come to the registration center, it has to be at great economic expense. If there is no such money, he can't be registered.
Right.
If the MP is called upon and he is unable to assist in that regard, he's not able to be registered. It's all over the place. And the statutory body, the entity Ghana, the National Identification Authority, tells us that they have constraints in moving to the communities to do community registration.
Yeah, okay.
Which I think has to be looked at.
Yeah.
Because we have set up an entity to register every Ghanaian and issue them with national ID. There should be no impediment put forth to frustrate them from doing so on community basis, even going to the market centers to do that. And so because of that, and because of the recognition of that problem, we have decided that as part of our electoral voter registration or getting names onto the electoral voter register, in addition to the identifiable lawful documents of a national ID card and a passport, 2 persons must guarantee for you. All right? Okay. Now, the guarantor system is not being abused. What is creating the problems is politics. And I'll cite my constituency or district.
Okay.
The registration that we just concluded in South, last year we registered 1,750 thereabout before the district level elections. This year we registered 1414, that's 1,414. Now, out of this number, 46 were challenged. Out of the 46 challenged, 45 were challenged based on age. You don't look at somebody's face, height, skin color, skin pigmentation, apparel, and determine that the person is not of 18 or not of age. Because the three grounds provided in Article 42 for the realization of the Article 42 right, it's only 3: citizenship, 18 years or more, and of sound mind. As a people, we have glossed over the third component of sound mind.
How did he tell you sound mind?
Thank you. He has to take a medical report. But it's such a constitutional requirement. Nobody is able to venture on that leg. So they proceed on grounds of not being of age. When you put the person who has placed the challenge to prove the basis of the challenge, they say, I have nothing. I realize that he is looking young and that he doesn't look like he's 18. Those are all the grounds.